Millionaires do this before 9 a.m. And it's not what you think. It's not meditation. It's not a cold shower. It's not even waking up at 5 a.m. It's something way simpler. And honestly, most people skip it completely. Here's the thing. While you're rushing around looking for your keys, forgetting your lunch, and starting your day in complete chaos, wealthy people are doing something totally different. They're making money decisions before their brain even fully wakes up. And I know what you're thinking. Great. Another video telling me I need to become a morning person. But stick with me here, because this isn't about becoming someone you're not. This is about 5 tiny habits that take less time than scrolling social media, but somehow create more wealth than most people see in years. Welcome back to Stickcoin, where we make money simple enough for anyone to understand. I'm your host, and today we're talking about the morning routine that separates the wealthy from everyone else. And here's the best part. You don't need money to start. You just need 5 minutes and a willingness to think differently about your mornings. See, most people treat their mornings like accidents waiting to happen. They wake up, immediately check their phone, get overwhelmed by the world's problems, then stumble through getting ready while their brain is still in sleep mode. By the time they're fully awake, they're already behind, already stressed, and already making decisions from a place of panic instead of power. But wealthy people, they've figured out something crucial. Your morning sets the financial tone for your entire day. The decisions you make in those first few minutes, even the tiny ones, either push you toward wealth or pull you away from it. Think about it like this. Imagine your brain is like a computer that reboots every night. When you wake up, you get to choose which programs load first. Most people let random apps start running, social media, news, other people's problems. But what if instead, you loaded your money programs first? What if you started each day by activating the part of your brain that thinks like a wealthy person? That's exactly what we're going to learn today. I'm going to walk you through the 5-step morning routine that wealthy people use to build and maintain their wealth. And before you worry that this is going to be complicated or time-consuming, let me be clear. This entire routine takes less time than most people spend choosing what to wear. So let's dive in. Step 1. Check yesterday's money story. The first thing wealthy people do each morning is look at yesterday's spending. Not in a judgmental way, not to beat themselves up, but to stay connected to their money reality. Here's why this matters. Most people live in what I call money fog. They have no idea where their money went. They swipe cards, tap phones, and click buy buttons without ever connecting the dots. Then they wonder why they're always broke. But when you check yesterday's spending first thing in the morning, something magical happens. You start to see patterns. You notice that you spend more when you're tired, or stressed, or bored. You see which purchases felt good and which ones you immediately regretted. This isn't about perfection. It's about awareness. And awareness is the first step to any lasting change. Let's say yesterday you spent $12 on coffee and snacks. Most people would either ignore this completely or beat themselves up about it. But wealthy people ask different questions. They ask, was I hungry or was I avoiding a difficult conversation at work? Did I really want the coffee or was I just bored? This 1-minute morning check-in transforms you from someone who money happens to into someone who makes intentional money choices. And intentional choices, over time, create wealth. Step 2. Connect with your future self. Next, wealthy people spend 60 seconds reviewing their goals, not creating new ones, not making grand plans, just remembering why they're doing all this. Most people set goals once a year, write them down somewhere, then never look at them again. But your brain needs daily reminders of what you're working toward, especially when it comes to money. Here's a simple way to think about it. Imagine your future self, the version of you that has the financial life you want. What would that person be proud of you for doing today? What small action would make them smile and say, That's when everything started to change. Maybe it's putting $20 into savings. Maybe it's saying no to a purchase that doesn't align with your goals. Maybe it's spending 5 minutes learning about investing instead of scrolling through videos. The key is connecting today's choices to tomorrow's outcomes. When you start your day by remembering your bigger financial picture, you naturally make better decisions throughout the day. Step 3. Pay your future self first. This is where most people think you need lots of money to start building wealth. But here's the secret. Wealthy people know. The amount doesn't matter. The habit does. Every morning, before you spend money on anything else, move something to your savings or investment account. It could be $5. It could be 50 cents. The number isn't important. What's important is training your brain to prioritize your future self over your current wants. Most people pay everyone else first. They pay their bills, buy their coffee, grab lunch, then see what's left for savings. But wealthy people flip this script. They pay their future self first, then figure out how to live on the rest. This simple flip changes everything. When you move money to savings first thing in the morning, you're telling your brain that your financial future is non-negotiable. You're making it impossible to spend that money on impulse purchases later in the day. And here's what's really cool. When you do this consistently, even with tiny amounts, your brain starts looking for ways to increase that amount. You'll find yourself thinking, what if I could save $10 instead of $5? What if I could find $20 in my budget? Step 4. Plan your day with money. Glasses on. Before wealthy people start their day, they look at their schedule through what I call money glasses. They ask themselves, what am I doing today that moves me toward wealth? What am I doing that moves me away from it? This isn't about turning every moment into a money-making opportunity. It's about being intentional with your time and energy, because both of those things directly impact your financial future. Let's say you have 3 things on your schedule today: a meeting with your boss, lunch with a friend, and grocery shopping. When you put on your money glasses, you might think, I'll use the meeting to discuss that project that could lead to a promotion. I'll suggest a place for lunch that fits my budget instead of just saying yes to wherever my friend wants to go. And I'll make a grocery list so I don't overspend on things I don't need. None of these changes require extra time or money. They just require thinking about your day differently. Step 5. Feed your money mindset. Finally, wealthy people end their morning routine by learning something small about money. This could be reading one article, listening to one podcast episode, or even just watching one educational video about personal finance. Most people think they need to understand everything about money before they can start building wealth. But wealthy people know that understanding comes from doing, and motivation comes from learning. When you feed your brain money knowledge first thing in the morning, you start seeing opportunities that other people miss. You begin to understand how money really works. You develop what wealthy people call financial intuition, the ability to make good money decisions quickly and confidently. The key is making this learning bite-sized and consistent. Don't try to become a financial expert overnight. Just commit to learning one small thing about money each morning. Now, I know some of you are thinking, this sounds great, but I can barely get out of bed on time. How am I supposed to add 5 more things to my morning? Here's the beautiful truth about this routine. It's not about adding time to your morning. It's about being more intentional with the time you already have. Instead of immediately checking social media when you wake up, check yesterday's spending. Instead of scrolling through random videos, spend that time reviewing your goals. Instead of buying expensive coffee out of habit, make coffee at home and put that money in savings. You're not adding new behaviors. You're replacing unconscious behaviors with conscious ones. And here's what happens when you do this consistently. After about 2 weeks, your brain starts to identify as someone who makes good money decisions. You start to see yourself as someone who's building wealth, even if your bank account doesn't reflect it yet. This identity shift is everything. Because when you see yourself as someone who's good with money, you naturally make choices that align with that identity. You start asking yourself, what would someone who's building wealth do in this situation? Remember, Wealthy people aren't wealthy because they're perfect with money. They're wealthy because they're consistent with small, boring habits that most people ignore. Your morning routine isn't just about what you do, it's about who you become. And when you become someone who starts each day by making intentional money choices, wealth becomes inevitable. So here's your challenge. Tomorrow morning, try this 5-step routine, just once. See how it feels to start your day as someone who's actively building wealth instead of just hoping it happens someday. Check yesterday's spending, connect with your goals, move some money to savings, even if it's just $1. Plan your day with your financial future in mind. Learn one small thing about money. 5 steps, 5 minutes, one completely different relationship with money. Try it tomorrow and come back to tell us how it felt. What surprised you? What felt challenging? What felt empowering? Because here's the thing, building wealth isn't about having money. It's about thinking like someone who has money, and that transformation can start tomorrow morning. Thanks for watching Stickcoin. Remember, we're not just building bank accounts here. We're building better lives, one simple habit at a time. I'll see you in the next video.